It's me. So I'm going to try something a little different. I know I've been using this channel primarily for gaming, but as you all should know by now, it's October. That time of year when everything's just a little more spooky than normal. So, I'm going to do something that I've tried several times. And I've always either flubbed it, had to do a little too much, just generally been too busy. But this year, I'm going to do it. This year has sucked ass. So I'm doing this for you. And more importantly, I'm doing it for me. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch one horror movie for every day of October. That's right. I'm getting a month-load dose of horror. But then again, I watch horror movies all the time. I'm just going to do it a lot this month. And I'm going to talk about it. And yes, I do still do the podcast with Fletcher and Lawtron and Ian and various guests. But for time constraints, I thought I could just do this on my own. And some of these entries on this list we might do episodes on them because I've already stumbled across some pretty cool shit and some not so cool shit. But I'm just kind of rolling the dice because growing up, I went to the movie rental store quite a bit, so I have bukus of box art burned into my brain. So sometimes, like one of these this week, I just watched because I had seen that box art for so long. And, yeah. There's probably a reason I shouldn't have watched it. But it's besides the point. Welcome to my Spooktacular. Day 1. Hellraiser Revelations. This is Hellraiser 9, folks. I'm starting out real goddamn strong. Unlike this movie, which is probably the weakest entry. Now, the story's not terrible compared to some of the other ones. And I'm talking about you fucking Hell World. I think it was number 6. That was trash. But this movie, goddamn, they couldn't even get Doug Bradley to come back. He didn't want to do this one. I don't know if they let him read the script, and he just noped the fuck out. And if he did, I don't blame him, because my God, this one's real bad. Like, I'll admit, some of the Hellraiser sequels, not too good. This one takes the cake, though. Holy shit. It's basically the story of two friends, two rich kids, which looks like they're going on vacation. Well, it's not vacation. They ran away from home because they didn't like living with their rich family in, I guess, like San Francisco or some shit. I don't know. California. SoCal. Either way, they're like, fuck it. They dipped off down to, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Tijuana. And they get drunk and they kill a hooker by accident. One of them does. The other one's filming. And I guess they should just expect audience to think that sleeping in a bathroom's not okay. Whoever wrote this movie, I don't know. I don't know how many bathrooms the writer of this movie has slept in, because hey, if I'm on vacation and I get that trashed, I'm going to the hotel room or jail. I'm not just sleeping on a bathroom floor, especially a bar or bathroom floor. Holy fuck. Well, like I said, they kill a hooker, and then one of them just kind of goes off the rails, and yeah, he wants to do more crazy shit. And like interspliced between the adventures of Nico and whoever gives a fuck, it shows their family grieving the loss of their sons. Oh, it's two families, two sons. They don't really think they're dead. Some of the family members are just kind of, you know, pretty sure they're dead. The rest of them are like, oh, they're still missing. They'll come back. Well, magically, the mother was digging through her son's bags that were recovered, gets to see some Cenobites on video, and, you know, just doesn't fucking question it. Finds a lament configuration, and then somehow the daughter gets a hold of it and starts messing with it, and then boom, their son's back. Well, one of them. The other one's not. Conveniently, that other family is also there to eat dinner and grieve. But yeah, when the son comes back all disoriented and shit, saying, oh, they're coming. But joke's on you, they watch more of the footage, or they show the audience more of the footage of, you know, the two boys in Mexico, and they somehow come across a box. The shady figure comes out, and it's just like, oh, you want pleasure? You want to reach the limits, buddy? Gringo, take the box. And of course, like most Hellraiser movies, somebody's over the edge, and they take the box, and they open it, and they don't really get what they want. They get cut up and chained up and all kinds of horrible shit. Well, that's pretty much the plot of this one. It kind of harkens back to the first movie, because, you know, the one guy that dies, or I guess the one that opened the box, he gets taken. Well, he somehow comes out of the mattress, pulls a fucking Hellraiser 2, and that's just how people come back. They just come back through fucking mattresses that got just a little bit of blood on them. And much like Frank, he tasks the other one into getting him more blood, more bodies. Mainly hookers. They just kill a bunch of hookers. Which, oddly enough, I'm pretty sure they say they're in Tijuana. They run across at least one Asian hooker. And I'm not saying hookers don't globetrot, but you just don't really expect to see an Asian hooker down in Mexico. I don't know, that bothered me. Not really bothered, it just stuck out. Much like sleeping in a fucking bar bathroom, you know. Things that happen, folks. But, speaking of things that happen, I think they cut a lot of this movie. Because there's scenes where you're just like, huh, how did we get to this conclusion? Like, at one point, the magical demon hobo from Mexico is somehow back in small town, whatever the fuck, USA. And, he takes a knife and he slices down one of the dad's face. They shoot him. He runs off. They drag the bleeding father back inside. And he's got cuts all over himself. He's got this cut. He's all sliced up here and shit. And I thought to myself, did I miss a scene? Did Tubi fail me and skip? No. It didn't. These people just did not know how to cut their movie properly. And they just left scenes in. I could go into more detail, more flaws of this movie, but I'm not going to. Day 2, Shivers. This is David Cronenberg's first movie. I've run across it on Tubi before, never watched it. Good old podcast buddy Fletcher found it on Blu-ray, a really nice copy of it. And he kept trying to get us to watch it on nights with a bunch of us around, and some nights we just weren't feeling it. But October hit, and I felt it. And we sat down and watched it, and we'll probably do an episode on it. Maybe. I would like to, because holy fuck. Like, watching the trailer, seeing the box art, you expect a certain type of movie. Slug-controlled zombies. That's what I thought it was. Oh, fuck, I was wrong. I even had read the description of this, like, in the Wikipedia article. I'd read it, back, like, last year, I think. And, It sounded a little spooky. Sounded different. But it's also, let me check my notes. Oh, shit. That's more than I wanted to. This is from 1975. So, you know, when I think 1975 zombie flick, I'm not expecting anything super special. But, oh, shit, Cronenberg came in hard for his first foray into making a movie. I'm going to say a string of words, and this is going to describe this movie. Slug-controlled, aphrodisiac slug-controlled rape squads. Yeah, it sounded stupid as fuck saying it as much as hearing it. But that's pretty much what this movie's about. These scientists, they are working on parasites, trying to basically make parasites like latch on to a diseased organ, and they just assimilate the organ, and then bam, you know, you got a bad kidney. Let's put a parasite on it, and boom, couple days, you get a whole brand new kidney, but it's also a parasite. You know, I don't know how long those would really last versus, you know, a human organ, but that's besides the point. One of these doctors working on it is a fucking crazy. So he makes a secret strand of these parasite slugs that act as, like, once they get in you or bite you or whatever the fuck they do, basically they're like an aphrodisiac. They get you fucking horny. And, yeah, that's how this movie plays out. It's a massive apartment complex where said doctor had incubated slugs inside of this young girl, which he apparently molested at one point in her life earlier on. But yeah, infested her, and, you know, of course, she's full of aphrodisiac slugs, so she gets real horny. Starts fucking a lot of people. Mainly that just, I guess, live in this apartment complex. And then, boom, you got a whole bunch of infected, horny people. And then shit hits the fucking fan. Hard. There are roving, whatever. There's rape squads. And you would think, when I keep saying zombie and parasite controlled, you would think mindless. No, not mindless. Like, and that's another reason why I really like this movie, because the level of teamwork that these fucking horny bastards achieve is phenomenal. Like, you'll never see zombies doing this shit. Never. Like, they're cutting phone lines. They've got the master key. They're going around opening doors. They're gang raping people. Yeah. It's fucking crazy. And, like I said, it's a Cronenberg movie, so check it out. Day 3. American Guinea Pigs. The Song of Solomon. That was a mouthful. So, since I'm trying to keep these short, I'm just gonna go real fast. Back in my younger days, I found this really cool video store. They had a really badass international section. They also had a really cool Criterion section, if you know what that it means. Either way, I stumbled across this movie, the series of movies. They were called the Guinea Pig series. Back, I think, in the 80s, whenever they were made, they came over to the U.S., and the rumor goes, one of the Sheens got a hold of it, thought it was a snuff film, freaked the fuck out, called the FBI. The Guinea Pig series was banned in the U.S. for a while. For how long? Not sure. Continuing, though. Yeah, fucking moth, get out of here. Yeah. Either way, fast forward, production company Unearthed Pictures, or Productions, whatever, they put them out into the U.S. Well, like I said, these are back from the 80s, like mid to late 80s. Well, they decided to, they wanted more movies. And since the Guinea Pig series was pretty gory, Like, gory enough for one of the Sheens to get freaked out and call the FBI. You know, and you know, the directors had to prove that, you know, they were using effects, they weren't killing people. Either way, Unearthed Pictures, they wanted more gory horror movies, and you know what? They fucking made some. I could only find 2 of them so far. I've only watched one. I'm probably gonna watch that's not a sequel. I'm gonna watch the next one. Now, granted, the old Guinea Pig series, low production value, but well, I mean, the gore effects were insane for the time. Not so much in this one. They kind of just like went to the gore. But the Song of Solomon is about a girl being, or basically a possessed girl. Father commits suicide in front of her, slashes his throat, pulls his tongue through said slash. Pretty gross right off the bat. Well, they talk up an exorcist, send him in. Some agent of the Vatican's like, you have to go in and we'll guarantee shit for your parish, whatever. He goes in, he's got help. They both get wrecked. Demon kills them. Or makes them kill themselves. One of them burns to death. Well, fast forward a little bit, she's still possessed. So they have to get another exorcist. And this time, he's a wartime priest. Because, you know, yeah, that makes sense. He goes in, you think, oh, well, he's the guy from the cover art. He's probably gonna solve this problem. Nope, he sure the fuck don't. He dies. Which, I mean, before he dies, he mercy kills the other remaining priest that's just kind of sitting in the corner burning to death without fire. Well, he's big and bad. He's gonna kick this demon's ass. Well, the demon looks him square in the eyes and then proceeds to puke her guts up. She does exactly what I just said. I meant that literally. She pukes her guts up. It's very gross. The effects were pretty good. And, like, it keeps cutting back to her puking things up, like her liver, stomach, intestines. Keeps cutting back to the very shocked wartime priest. And then she looks down at her pile of organs that she's puked up, and she looks him dead in the eyes and is like, I might need those later. And then proceeds to eat those organs. And, you know, I honestly don't remember. And that guy dies. So then the Vatican person's like, oh, fuck. Well, let's get another one. And he gets another exorcist, and he's like, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. I did an unsanctioned exorcism and I lost, so I basically lost my soul. I can't do an exorcism with no soul. I can still walk around and be a fucking priest with no soul, mind you. But either way, the Vatican's like, go do that shit. Now, here's some religious artifacts. Go do it. Stop the Antichrist. And he's like, whoa, shit, I can't stop the Antichrist. I don't have a soul. Well, he goes in, and guess what? He fails. I don't think he doesn't die, but he basically falls for the demon's tricks, gets real horny, and has sex with her. I said to when I say possessed girl, she's of age, like in her 20s, so they have sex. You know, it's a demon in her, so it's whatever. Demon's down. They fuck, and basically they give birth to the Antichrist. And the Vatican agent, he kept saying, oh, well, Jesus will come back, and blah, blah, blah. Well, Antichrist is born, rips out of this chick's stomach in a very hilarious fashion. And then the parent, or the mother, and I guess their physician, hail the Antichrist, and then just fuck each other up. And then he kind of wanders out into the street with this baby, and the Vatican agent shows up. And I guess that guy falls over and dies. And I guess he goes to hell since he doesn't have... I guess he hadn't had a soul for a few fucking years, so he dies. And Vatican guys just like, well, the Antichrist is here. Jesus has to come back now. So, in theory, he was right. Jesus was coming back. He just forced Jesus' hand. And, yeah, that was American Guinea Pigs, The Song of Solomon.